Welcome back to my channel, you guys. This is Ari, and I have on one of my favorite filters from Snapchat. But I really wanted to get on here and update you guys. It's been a couple of months, probably about 6 or 7 months, since I've made an actual update video of my health and where we are as a family right now. For those who don't know, we are 25 weeks and 5 days pregnant. I'm not even sure the last thing I updated you guys on. I should have went to my my YouTube channel and looked at what the last video was. But this video is to update you on everything. As you all know, I went through a blood disorder early last year and was very depressed. And that was from the year before. And so I had a blood disorder for 10 months. And then following that, I started having all these pains in my stomach. Went to see like 4 different doctors and finally found out that I had a gallbladder disorder. They were telling me that there were gallstones. At the end, when I finally got the gallbladder removed, the surgeon actually told us that there were no stones, that I had that there was just inflammation in the gallbladder. And so we'll get to that in just a moment. I do have a couple clips I'm going to insert as well, where I give a closer update, like a couple week post-op update or post-op update. And so I'll show that in just a few minutes here. But what I was experiencing was the most pain that I had was like anything I ate. It started out with like just tomatoes or just spicy stuff. And then it became anything that I would eat, I was having a reaction to. When I say reaction, they call them gallbladder attacks. A gallbladder attack is when the food is trying to digest, and basically the ducts or the gallbladder connected, it's supposed to connect to your I'm not the brightest when it comes to biology, but your gallbladder is connected to the liver. It's also connected to the intestine. I believe it's a small intestine. And so anyway, whenever it's trying to pass through to get to the intestine, there's like, it's so tiny, like just picture a really tiny passageway and the bile is building up in your gallbladder, and so it can't pass through without the pain from just whatever kind of blockage. And for me, it was inflammation in general. So there actually weren't any stones. I remember um 2 2 days before I went to go see my surgeon to remove my gallbladder, I found out I was pregnant. I had a friend tell me, because I was just so sick. I was throwing up. Like, I don't usually just throw up. And I was throwing up, and I was thinking, well, maybe the gallbladder is just getting worse and worse. And so I went to go see my surgeon. But 2 days before that, um, my husband, I threw up some watermelon. My husband was like, "You probably pregnant." I'm like, "There's no way," because we were actually trying not to get pregnant, like doing everything that we can to not be pregnant, and it just wasn't in plans. I'll just say that. And then the same night, I was talking to a friend of mine, excuse me, and she was like, "Girl, you pregnant?" I'm like, "There's just no way." And so I'm sorry if this sounds rushed, but um I am trying to rush. I only have 26 percent battery on my phone, and my charger is all the way over there. So anyway, the same night that my husband told me that I was probably pregnant, I had a friend of mine, Paige, told me like, "Girl, you pregnant?" I'm like, "There's just no way." And so the next morning, Holy Spirit was like, "Yeah, you need to go take a pregnancy test." And so I went and got a pregnancy test. The ironic thing about it is just that the day I had been taking like at home colonics, which I was trying to do the 6 day fasting to flush on the seventh day. It's called the Amazing Gallbladder and Liver Flush, or Liver and Gallbladder Flush. The Amazing Liver and Gallbladder Flush. And I was doing that. I was following a protocol for that. I had bought all the products and everything, the salt, everything. And I was getting ready to flush on the seventh day. But before actually I was the 6th day, I'm sorry, I was on the 6th day, and I was getting ready to go get a actual colonic because I had tried to do my at home colonics. And so I was going to go get it done, and I had texted the lady and I was like, hey, I just found out I'm pregnant. And she's like, well, people don't recommend that you do it, da da da. So I went ahead and went to my surgeon appointment, my consultation, the day after the 7th, would have been the 7th day. And I told him, and he was like, oh, we can get you some pills that's going to help you to flush out the gallstones. And so I thought, oh, they have this. They don't tell you that that's even a possibility. They initially tell you like, hey, go get the surgery done. You need to get a surgery. You need to get surgery. And so I didn't even know that there was a thing like that, right? But it was offered to me once I told him that I was pregnant. And the your Surdol or your URSODOL or something like that. So I think it was called Ursidol or Ursurdiol or something like that. Anyway, I took the pills and it was making me throw up profusely. I was throwing up so much. It was terrible. And so after about 4 or 5 weeks, I was like, I just can't do this anymore. I was like, when can we schedule this appointment? So by this time, because when I found out, I was at 6 weeks pregnant. So now there's been about another 5 weeks. So now we're at the 13, because your second trimester started at 13 weeks. They don't prefer you do it in the first trimester to get the surgery, so you have to wait to the second trimester. And I was like, well, this was a date then, and I had been calling to try to schedule, and I was so sick. I was losing so much weight, you guys. And so finally, I talked to my OBGYN and got her to approve me to get the surgery done. I got it done a day before what would have been my 13-week mark. And so I got it right at, my second trimester. And the surgery went well. I remember the doctor walked in and he was just like, it's a possibility you could lose the baby, yada, yada. I was like, sir, God already gave this baby a name. God had already told me it was a boy. I had a dream. It's just amazing. God had already told me like his name and everything. And so I told the doctor, I was like, please, I was like, don't worry about it. I said, my angels are with you. God already gave this baby a name. I was like, just go in there, do your thing. You got this. Like, I trust you. You got this. And so he just wasn't really, you could tell he wasn't that confident. He was like, man, he was hoping that I would understand. But sometimes faith doesn't look like something that can be just understood sometimes. And so anyway, this is a really cool part. After I got out of the anesthesia and I was waking up and I heard and like kind of was in and out seeing the lady checking the baby's heartbeat. And she goes, well, baby's heartbeat is strong. And she was like, the baby's heartbeat is strong. And I just started praising God. And I started like praising God in my sleep. I could barely like move or anything, but I was just like praying in the spirit. I was like praying in the spirit. And I was just like, thank you, Jesus. And I was just praying in the spirit. And I heard somebody, like a male voice on this side. He was like, that's a first. And then the lady on the right side, she was like, I love it. And I looked over and I saw she was like typing on a computer or something. She was like, I just love it. And so I was just there. I couldn't help but just like thank God that the baby was okay, because I knew that this was all a part of God's plan, and he's just been revealing like how he makes everything work out for our good. And so like, even though that this child was not planned, we don't really have the space in our home for a baby. We don't really like, I'm not working, my husband works, and like we're just like really just barely making it by the grace of God. And so all of this stuff just, it seemed like I had been hit back to back to back. My faith was tested back to back to back. Spiritually, I was like going through so much back to back, and like just trying to cope with life without having like support, from like a mother or father and things like that. And so like, it's just been a lot, you guys, just a whirlwind back to back. And even before I got sick last year and a half ago, my husband got sick 2 years ago, and he was diagnosed with something that he was able to reverse by just fasting and changing his diet completely. He like healed himself. His doctor was like, wow, you're one in a few who actually do what is supposed to be done and beyond that. So I was motivated by him and what he done. And so that's why I started fasting. But then I realized I can't fast anymore because obviously I'm pregnant. So you guys, this is just my testimony. And also for anybody who is suffering with gallbladder disorder or discomfort, I just pray that the Lord will just bring you peace of mind and give you guidance and and that he would just grant you peace to go through everything that you're going through. I do think that it's a great idea to get the Amazing Liver and Gallbladder Flush book. It's really informative. At the same time, I feel like, sometimes, even when it comes to birth, giving birth, it might not always look like what you expect. Because in some sense, some weird, creepy way, I was like, I've never wanted anything else to come out of my body because I've had like my tonsils removed and I felt so terrible about that. But like sometimes, it can seem unconventional, but it's all a part of God's plan to keep us and to bring us into good health. And so just be encouraged. I'm trying to hurry up because I don't really get a lot of time by myself anymore, where I can feel confident to do these videos. I usually have my baby or my husband's he's trying to rest or something. So I will try to come back and update you guys, but I just want to say I'm doing fine. My baby's doing 100% fine. My scars are healing. One thing I noticed mind you, I got the surgery at 13 weeks. I'm now 25, almost 26 weeks in 2 days, right? And one thing I noticed is as the baby is growing, some of the pain that I had in these scars are it's kind of like a nerve thing. Sometimes I get like a nerve shoot up and I'm like, oh, I got a little bit of pain right there. And so I don't know. I just think it's just like the baby's growing and then my skin is more stretching to do. So there's just a little bit of nerve pain, not a lot of pain at all. It's not debilitating, but it is noticeable that, hey, my belly's growing, baby's getting bigger and he's moving obviously. And so, yeah, so that's the only real update I have. This is weeks out though. I do have a quicker post-op update that I'm going to insert at the end of this clip. I just want to say thank you for following my journey with me. I do apologize for not being as consistent. I've been terribly inconsistent, but I'm back. I'm going to be sharing with you all my birthing plan and also, if you haven't already, go back and listen to our Christmas song. Jamel Langston and I made a Christmas tree song. It's so pretty. It's so sweet. And I hope you enjoy it. I want to say thank you for all of my supporters. Thank you for the new people who are watching. I hope that this helps in any kind of way. Before I got my surgery, I was researching, and the earliest that I saw anybody get a gallbladder removed during gestation was 22 weeks. And after I did more research, I saw somebody in Ireland, this woman in Ireland or something, because I'm on the Amazing Gallbladder and Liver Flush website. I'm also on another website. But this lady, and I believe she was in Ireland, she got her gallbladder removed at 13 weeks. So that's what encouraged me to figure out, hey, can I get it done sooner? It really blessed me. I hope that this video has blessed you guys. If there's any other questions you have, please leave them down below. I'll be happy to answer those, and continue to pray for me. I love you guys. Peace. But yes, I do have my pre-op, post-op appointment today for the gallbladder surgery. I'll just go ahead and show y'all how it's looking. One, two. This one's probably I don't want to say worst, but this one almost kind of seemed like it was splitting open, but it kind of protected itself, I guess. All the little tape is gone. This one has healed the most, these two here. But yeah, got a little bit of pain. I took some Tylenol. Looking forward to not needing it anymore. Whenever you cough, laugh, sneeze, strain, picking up this one, which I know I shouldn't be. It gave me a little bit of pain, but I'm ready to get back to doing hair. What's up?